90.4 towards knowledge society.
Hello listeners, good evening. You are listening to Radio Vishnu 90.4. Sri Vishnu Educational Society and Radio Vishnu 90.4 proudly attempting Guinness World Record exclusively with 100 student RJs for the duration of 72 hours, 30 minutes and 30 seconds. I am student RJ Nunna Shanti Priya and I feel very fortunate for being a part of this Guinness World Record attempt. Our application number is 220516125713LRPB and our title is Longest Radio Play Broadcast Continuously. My allotted participant number is 51. So I'm here with an interesting topic. Excited to know that? Let me give you a hint. It is very essential for a student and mostly done by only noble persons. I think you are a little bit confused that why it is only important for the students. I don't want to prolong this. So I'm here with an interesting topic called importance of reading. Reading is an activity done by everyone whenever we glance at anything. So have you ever thought how this could be beneficial to us? Why delay? Come, let's jump into the topic. We think reading is just an activity, but reading is an essential aspect of learning and has multiple benefits attached to it. Reading is important because it makes you more empathetic and knowledgeable and even stimulates your imagination. Let me tell you the statistical studies as per the study conducted by the University of Sussex showed that reading reduces stress by 68%. I think you were shocked after listening to these statistics. Let me tell you the detailed concept of reading. What is reading? We simply say when we do activity that is to read is called a reading. Reading is not just about picking an article and going to it. It is a cognitive process where you can recognize the world and even comprehend it to understand its meaning. As our brain needs to be stimulated to function properly and foster ideas, one of the easiest way to sharpen your mind is through reading, that too with concentration. Almost all noble personalities read every day, as they recognize that knowledge is the key to success. Therefore, it is time to mark their advice. If you desire to be closer to your dream, just start reading. You may think how reading has impact on our body. Don't worry, I will tell you. Reading is a neurobiological process that works out your brain muscles. As you do so, you can help to slow down your cognitive decline and even decrease the rate at which your memory fades. Recently, scientists at University of California that was situated in Berkeley have even found that reading reduces the level of beta amyloid. This can be well known by the medical students, which is a protein in the brain that is connected to Alzheimer's. I think many of us don't have an idea that reading could have physical, psychological, and even spiritual benefits. There may be a question in your mind right now. What can be exactly called as reading? Let me give you a clarity. Reading can be of reading newspapers, magazines, comics, encyclopedias, children novels, fiction, and non-fiction books. These can be treated as reading. So if you follow any one of these, then you can be said as a reading person. We may have different opinions on reading. Even there are many sayings from great people about reading. So let me tell you what is the opinion of Adel Kaiser about reading in his article. The more you read, the more things you know. The more you learn, the more places you will go. This is a famous quote by Dr. Seuss, and it of course 100% accurate. The importance of reading skills can't be stressed enough. Reading is fundamental in helping us to find and convey information. It is an essential skill that is developed at very young age. Let me tell you the statistics reported on reading. From the study in 2019, Nations Report Card reported that 35% of the grade 4 students in the United States failed to perform the above basic level. In Canada, the provinces of Ontario reported that 26% and 30% grade 3 students did not meet the provincial reading standards in 2019. And even 53% of the grade 3 students with special education needs were not meeting the provincial standard. The Progress in International Reading Literacy Study, that is PIRLS, publishes reading achievement for 4 graders in 50 countries. The 5 countries with the highest overall reading average are, interested to know the top rated countries? Those are Russia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Ireland, and Finland. Some other countries like England, United States, Australia, Canada, New Zealand were also rated. The Program for International Student Assessment, that is PISA, measures that 15 years old school pupils' socialistic performance on mathematics, science, and reading. Have you ever wondered that there are different reading levels for each and every person? The reading levels of adults, based on some surveys, reported that Japan has 4.9%, Finland has 10.6%, and Australia has 12.6%, and few other countries have different percentage values. Some of us lag in reading because no one is perfect, right? So according to the World Bank, 53% of all children in low and middle income countries suffer from learning poverty. I think you're listening first time this word. What could be exactly called as learning poverty? It is defined as being unable to read and understand a simple text by the age of 10. Although they say that all foundational skills are important, including reading, numeracy, basic reasoning ability, socio-emotional skills, and many more, they focus specially on reading. Because the reason is that reading proficiency is easily understood metric of learning. Reading is a student's gateway, isn't it? To learn in every other area, and reading proficiency can serve as proxy for foundational learning in other subjects. On basing on these problems, there are few solutions. That is for the better reading qualities. Firstly, the learners must be prepared and motivated to learn, because who want to learn must have interest first of all. Secondly, teachers should be at all levels, as teachers are very essential, right? Classrooms are very important place to learn, so classrooms must be equipped for only learning. Schools are safe and inclusively spaces. Lastly, education system should be well managed. Have you ever thought for a while that why actually reading is important for your growth? Reading is a great value because it provides you many benefits. Now let me tell you the benefits of reading. So, do you know that reading strengthens your brain activity? But how can it be possible? Because reading gets your mind working across different areas. For starters, it involves comprehension to process the words you read. Beyond that, you can use your analytical abilities and stimulate memories and even broaden your imagination by reading words. Students mostly try to increase their communicational skills. So here is a tip for them. Reading can boost up your communicational skills. Both reading and writing work to improve one's communicational skills. That's why if you are looking to become a better writer, just start reading. Many of the suggestions that you come across will include reading more. Reading can open your eyes literally and figure out to new words. I would like to share you an interesting idea that if you come across any words you read that you don't know, take a moment to look them up and write them down. Then don't forget to use your new words in your speech so that you will never forget them. So many of us stuck between self-exploration. So if you want to self explore yourself, just start reading because books can be both an escape and an adventure. When you are reading, you have an opportunity to think about things in new ways and learn about culture and people you may have never otherwise heard of. And even you can adopt methods of thinking that even helps to reshape and enhance your identity. Let me give you an example. If you read a mystery novel and learn that you have knack and interest in solving cases and paying attention to clues, then you can find the area you're interested in. So, do you know reading can also help you to make fun intellectually sound? But how? When you read a lot, you undoubtedly learn a lot. The more you read, the more you learn. And you will be considered as a well read person. This tends to mean that you know a little about a lot. Having a diverse set of knowledge will make you more engaging conversationalist and even empower you to speak more people from different backgrounds and experience because you can connect based on the shared information. Some people may argue that ignorance is a bliss, but the truth is knowledge is power. And the more you read, the more you get to know. That's why you can do better. Books even coaches one's imagination to think big. A constant fuel is required by our mind to develop knowledge and enrich our perspective. So, reading is not just a leisure activity but can also be beneficial when it comes to clearing some of the globally recognized competitive examinations. Individually engaged in reading have slower memory decline than those who avoid reading. It also improves memory and builds focuses. So, if you want to increase your vocabulary, just start reading because reading can increase your vocabulary. While going through an article, you might have come across some words which confuse you, or even certain words that you hardly even recognize. Finding out the meaning and regularly reading can be the best solution for you to enhance your vocabulary and expand your knowledge. And do you know, reading can help in polishing your mind. I think you are excited because reading requires you to have the patience to build a cognitive perspective. This is considered to be in a prime brain stimulating activity to sharpen your mind. Students may have examinations like writing test that may be writing a story or a novel. So here is a tip for them. Reading can strengthen your writing ability. But how? Reading is connected to writing. Having a strong vocabulary can really benefit you to strengthen your writing ability. That is both personally and professionally. It even inspires writers to stay positive and express their thoughts more clearly. Reading helps us in developing a knack for understanding the perspective of different authors. That even helps in writing about things by yourself. It is very crucial to comprehend the subject matter and allow our memory to retain it. Do you know reading can lower your stress? I was really shocked after listening to this thing. Because reading leads you on a journey to another world. People reading literature or novels require a lot of concentration, which allows them to stay away from distractions in their lives, which in turn promotes inner calmness and enhances overall health. This is how we can get rid of stress. I would like to ask you a question. Whenever we were depressed, we mostly go to hospital. So why can't we try at home? Yes, obviously it can be possible at home. We can get rid of our depression. This is how self-help books, novels, blogs, articles contribute. Reading is found to lower heart rate and reduce stress and even decrease your blood pressure. Do you know that reading can enhance one's imagination? Reading is just like a spider web, linking things you know to think you just learn and creating innovative solutions you work upon. and your dreams when you start imagination them. Imagination also allows an individual to be empathetic towards people and their struggles. I would like to ask you a question. Where you can find a peace of mind? Obviously, your answer will be temple. But there is another place other than temple, that is your reading place. Reading is one of the simplest entertainment entity for humans. Human beings tend to be fascinated by the world of stories, and even books open up alternative worlds to explore. This is not just transcends us to another reality, but also helps us in distancing from our daily problems for a while. And mostly students face a problem of lack of sleep. So reading can promote you a positive sleep. But how? Books are a perfect company at night before you doze off, because it allows your body muscles to relax and your mind to distress. It is known that one can have a sound space sleep when one's brain is happy and one is comfortable in their own space. However, it is preferable to grab a printed book than a gadget before you settle in for some dreams. And reading is also important for preparing a universal competitive examinations. Reading allows one to develop a better understanding of subject and gain conceptual clarity. Mainly students prepare for CAT exams, GRE, TOEFL and many more. So if you are in a process to crack those examinations, just start reading. I would like to mention some of the benefits of reading by making it as an habit. Reading improves your language skills and even improves your comprehension, and it makes you more empathetic and even reduces your stress and anxiety, and it helps in building a vocabulary and stimulates your imagination and even builds your confidence. As it lowers your heart rate, you can get rid of your stress and depression, and it even improves your sleeping habits. So, have you ever thought that what could be the actual benefits of reading an essay? Reading is a good habit that everyone needs to develop, especially students. Reading requires you to have the patience to build a cognitive perspective and brain stimulating activity to sharpen your mind. Reading is important because it makes you more empathetic. Do you know one thing? Reading allows one to develop a better understanding of the subject and gain conceptual clarity. It is one of the simplest entertainment entity for humans. It also helps to battle depression and even can reduced by incorporating reading habits. This is exactly what books can contribute to us. Reading is a skill that even a lot of adults don't use enough, apart from necessity of reading to get by in the today's world. Reading can help you to discover the world. But how? Reading is a gateway to learning anything about everything. It even helps you to discover new things and educate yourself in any area of life that you are interested in. So you can find a book on just about any subject you can imagine and dive in and start learning. So, are you in a process to increase your imagination skills and creativity skills? You can start reading, because when we watch a television or a movie, all information is given to us on the screen. There is nothing to imagine. But whereas in book it is a pure form and just words on a page, and our minds have to do the work to imagine the words coming to life. This does wonder to develop our creativity and even imagination. As I mentioned, reading can improve your concentration and reduce the stress. Not only does reading focuses your attention entirely on the task, it also immerses you in the information, improving concentration and memory of what you read. that makes you completely involved in books and can help you to relax and feel calm. Do you know how many types of readers are there? Or how reading is classified based on reading? So, learning is to read is the first step. From there, you can increase your comprehension and become an active reader. So, based on type of reading, reading is classified into two types, that is active and passive readings. Let me give you a clarity about passive readers. Have you ever read a page in a book and not taken in anything you have just read? This mostly can be observed in students because they just start reading and reading the same paragraph without any actually acknowledging the words. This is how students by heart the questions before the examinations. Whereas the active readers engage with what they are reading. They read with an open and questioning mind and even stop to think more about what things mean. They can predict what will happen next in the story using clues they gain from reading. They even create questions about the main idea, message, or plot. They monitor understanding of the sequence, context, or characters. They even stop to clarify parts of the text that have confused them. Can you think there are problems on reading? Not much, but it's very small. Problems with reading are often identified as an issue for the grade 4 students. This can be identified mainly in school children. During the schoolings, most will be in a confusion state that whether to acquire a bookish knowledge or a practical knowledge. It will be a great problem for them. So, I would like to give them a suggestion that just to learn a spiritual knowledge other than the bookish knowledge. And the problem can be solved in few ways, like ask them to read with a purpose, because active reading encourages understanding through engagement with the text. If you are interested in the material, they will be far more likely to involve themselves in learning about it and become an active reader. Firstly, ask them to learn the vocabulary. It is very easy to lose track of what you are reading if you don't understand some of the words. But we all tend to skip over the words we don't know on the occasion without taking them into look. Learning new vocabulary will help you to get a deeper understanding of what they are reading. So tell them to tell the subject what they have read, because it is one of the best idea. After reading a short section of a text, recalling the story helps to increase your comprehension. And the next tip is asking and answering the questions. Just give them, because reading the same text or the chapter as you and open a discussion by asking them a questions about it and inviting them results in remembering. Don't forget to say them to summarize the important facts, because summarizing is a great way to improve your active reading and even your comprehension skills. It requires an understanding of the whole text and judgment about which information is most important. If your child can tell you the important parts of a story, they are well on their ways to being an expectational active reading. Do you know about radio reading? In some countries, a radio reading service provides a service for blind people and others who choose to hear newspapers, books, and other printed materials to read aloud, typically by volunteers. An example is Australia's Radio Print Handicapped Network, with stations in capital cities and some other areas, calling the book lovers and avoid readers of all age. I think you got a clarity on radio reading. Have you ever wondered what are the benefits of reading are aside from leisure and education? From learning new words to maintaining your mental health, books can do it all. Let me tell you the benefits of reading. Reading can exercise your brain. Are you wonder how it can be possible? While reading, we have to remember different characters and settings that belong to a given story. And even if you enjoy reading a book in one sitting, you have to remember all the details throughout the time that you have take to read the book. Therefore, reading is a workout for your brain that improves your memory function. And of course, it is one of the form of entertainment. Did you know that most of the popular TV shows and movies are based on books? Here is an example for that. Have you watched Harry Potter series? It is mostly taken from the Harry Potter novels. So why don't you indulge in the original form of entertainment by immersing yourself in reading? Because reading can improve your concentration and ability to focus. We all agree that reading cannot happen without focus, and in order to fully understand the story, we have to concentrate on each and every page that we read. In a world where gadgets are only getting faster and shortening our attention span, we need to constantly practice concentration and focus on reading. Reading is one of the few activities that requires individual attention. Therefore, it can increase your ability to concentrate. I mentioned that there are two type of readers, that is active and passive readers. Apart from that, there are other two readers, that is extensive and intensive readers. In intensive reading, the readers reads multiple books, newspapers, magazines, etc. to get a general understanding of the topic of their interest. Conversely, intensive reading is concerned within the classroom learning, wherein the student is compelled to read some text as many times as required to deeply understand the topic. Extensive reading is a supplementary reading which is concerned with decoding of the written material. On the other hand, intensive reading is a comprehension in nature, as it involves comprehension of the written text. Extensive reading is reading for fun and entertainment and pleasure, as well as to gain a basic understanding of something. However, the primary focus of intensive reading is to understand the literal meaning of the text that is being read. Extensive reading involves novels, journals, newspapers reading. As against, intensive reading is all about text reading. As the topic is chosen by the teacher in case of intensive reading, it may not be appropriate as per the student's interest. On the contrary, in extensive reading, the students are free to choose the material that they want to read. BTech can be example of this. Extensive reading is concerned with reading different books and other study materials based on similar concepts or idea. In contrast, intensive reading involves reading the given materials again and again to understand it in full. In extensive reading, readers are supposed to use a dictionary, as understanding each and every word contained in the material is not vital. As opposed in intensive reading, readers have to use the dictionary to understand the meaning of every single word, which is unfair to them. Till now, I have mentioned the benefits of reading, but do you know reading can help you both physically and mentally? Reading novels can help to develop your social skills and shape your brain. People and children who read novels score better in various tests like empathy test and increase one's ability to connect with others. As per the study that was conducted in 2010 revealed that children exposed to reading novels and stories have a stronger ability to model the mentality of the other people. Whereas in other study published in 2009, Otalia found that reading novels improved people's social skills, including openness to various experiences, emotional stability, extroversion, and emotional awareness and stability. When you open a book and get thoroughly engrossed in it, you will have opened up your imagination, and that helps you enter a state of consciousness that is unaltered. When you have your mind engaged in literary escape, tension is removed automatically and your body prepares for slumber. Do you know? Reading can even cure a disease. I think you were shocked. Reading can help you to fight against the Alzheimer's disease because reading puts your brain to work, and that was very good thing. Those who engage their brain through activities such as reading, chess or puzzles could be 2.5 times less likely to develop the Alzheimer's disease than those who spend their downtime on less stimulating activities. Researchers published in Neurology suggest that exercising the brain may help because inactive increase the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. 75% of the parents wish their children would read more for fun, and those who want to encourage their children to become bookworms can start by reading loud at home. While most parents stop reading out loud after their children learn to do it on their own. A report from Socialistic suggests that reading loud to kids throughout their elementary school years may inspire them to become frequent readers. We all practiced this type of reading in our primary schools so that till now we remember the alphabets, tables, and many more. Meaning, kids who have read 5 to 7 days per week for one, more than 40% of the frequent reader ages through 11 were read to loud at home, but only 13% of those who did not read often for fun were translations. Reading can improve your memory. Are you always forgetting things? Do you have a bunch of to-do lists but you can't quite remember what's on them? One of the advantages of reading books is that it can improve your memory. When you read a non-fiction books, you also consume an enormous amount of information on the subject that you are reading about. Similarly, when you are reading a novel, you have to remember tons of information about the story plots and subplots, the characters and their relationships too, and the environment in which the story takes place. All of this new information creates new memories, and every memory creates a strengthen old ones. Reading every day can improve your memory. It even can help you to learn how to store new information and recall memories most effectively. This last effect of reading is perhaps one of the most exciting and interesting. It turns out to be the health benefits of reading and even helps you to live longer. Do you know reading can help to live you longer? But how? A 12-year study on health and retirement found that those who read books survived around 2 years longer than those who did not read the books or read magazines. Additionally, those who read for 30 minutes a day, 3.5 hours per week, were 23% more likely to live those who did not read often. Pretty cool, right? As I mentioned, reading is a great way to exercise our brain to make us smarter and sharper. However, the knock-on effect of this is that reading also helps prevent age-related cognitive decline. One study found that older adults who regularly read or play mentally challenging games like chess are 2.5 times less likely to develop Alzheimer's disease. On the other hand, people who don't exercise their gray matter, there is a chance of losing their brain power. That mostly said by Dr. Robert Friedland. So, I would like to give you 3 ways to remember and use more of what you read. Firstly, read less but more often. You must maintain consistency. And don't forget to annotate your books to read actively. And lastly, write about what you're learning because 10 times reading is similar to writing 1 time. So don't forget to write about what you are learning. So always stay focused and stay balanced while reading. I think you gotten clarity about different type of reading techniques and different benefits from the reading. So you will be having a doubt that what is the best reading position. Even I do have a question that how can we concentrationally read. After investigating through this, I was surprised that we all follow a wrong way. How we read actually, of course, by sitting, but reading by standing position helps us to be more concentrated to read. But it takes a long time to adopt. So, reading helps you learn and grow and become more successful in life. That's why you should consider making reading a habit. So, are you in a process of making it as your habit? I would like to share you a few tips to make it as habit. Read before you sleep as it reduces your stress level and promotes your positive sleep. And always carry a book with you because you need not waste your time. And make time to make reading as a habit. Expand your scope to develop the habit of reading. Until you make reading as a habit, replace another activity with reading. Try asking for books as presents because you can read with more interest. A good book is like a good friend. It can even take you to places you have never been and introduce your new ideas and provide comfort and companionship. Once reading becomes your regular part of your life, you will be surprised at how much you enjoy it. So follow these tips to make reading as your habit. I hope you all will start reading right now. So I would like to suggest you one of the book that I have gone through, that is Her Last Wish, which was written by Ajay K. Pandey, a famous writer. I hope you all enjoyed my topic, that is importance of reading. So let me introduce my next student Ajay Uppada Vijay Kumar, whose the participant number is 52. Keep listening to Radio Vishnu 90.4 towards Knowledge Society.